Hi, so in this video we're going to show you how to set up your memberships for a club or society. So first of all, go to the SU website and sign in. Once you sign in, you'll see the option for your student dashboard. You click on that, it'll open up your dashboard, it'll say hello to you. And this will be your club or society that you're a committee member of. Click on manage, and then down on the left, these options have changed. And you want to go to products. I see a few more options than you do, so you won't see all of those. Click on products, and this is where all your memberships are. And previous ones will show up here, so ones that were set up for the previous year. So, for example, 1 year membership for 23-24 for last year. We set up a demo one for this year. You can also see all products here. So this is both tickets and memberships. So you can take things on and off sale and also see any sales or who bought what there. But let's click back to the first tab, new application, and it's a short digital form. So what should you call your product or your membership? Well, let's have a look at an example. So if we go to clubs and societies, and then we click on find clubs and societies and committees. So these are all the societies and clubs, and also committees down the bottom. So I'm going to show you politics because I know they've set up their memberships already. So then for particularly activities fair, register your interest is good, so students can register their interest. They stay on your dashboard for 30 days after they've done that, and then you can contact them for that 30 days, and then they will drop off that list after 30 days. To join a group, any student can do that by clicking join this group, and then you can see the memberships. So politics, the reason I've picked these as a good example, so they've got a PulseOp 1 year masters, PulseOp 1 year membership. So they've got various different types, and they've got a 3 year and a semester one as well. So these are great examples of the different types. So let's click on this more standard 1 year membership. So this is what should you call it? You should call it what it is. So it's your society or club name, what it is. So in this case, it's a 1 year membership, and then the year it's valid for. So 24-25, which is this next academic year, or if you're watching this in subsequent years, then it would be 25-26. And like I say, they had a semester one. So again, it's valid for that year, 24-25. But in the dates, which I'll show you shortly, it will go up to just the end of 2024. And then the final one to show you is the 3 year, which is 2024 to 2027. Okay, so let's go back to our application. So just for speed, I'm going to copy that, but I'm going to make it a 1 year actually. So generally, we will set up your memberships for you at the start of the academic year, but if you haven't done that, or you want to make some changes, or you want to add memberships, then you can do it yourself here. So category should always be memberships. You'll have seen the film unit one there, which is obviously for film unit only. Product price, so this is with 2 decimal points. So you can do a free membership, which would be 0.00. But in this case, I'm going to make it £10. And you could have, if you do non-student membership, you might have a PulseOp. Well, you don't have to call it anything different, actually. I'll show you how to set that up so different people can buy it shortly. So start selling. So this is when you want to start selling from. It will default to today's date and time, so you can see what day I set this up or recording this. And then when you want to go off sale, so it's a 1 year membership. So we would go to 2025, and the default we would recommend is the 30th of June. So that's gives them some weeks after the end of term next academic, well, in this academic year coming up. So it would be 2025, the 30th of June. You can have anything you like. So it could be the 30th of August of 2025 if you want, but we recommend the 30th of June 2025. And the time isn't that important, but you can adjust it should you wish to. Inventory, generally you might want it unlimited, so as many students as you want to buy it. But let's say, for example, you've got a limited amount of memberships. You might be a sports club, for example. You might want to put 20 or whatever your figure is. I'm going to put it at -1, so it's unlimited. Max per transaction for memberships, this should be 1 and 1. So max per transaction, max per person. So you only want a student to buy 1 membership, or to be able to buy 1 of your memberships. Okay. Do you want to sell online? Yes, you do. That means it will show on the SU website. Do you want to sell offline at reception? We don't offer this service. If you tick that on, it doesn't matter, but we don't do it, so leave it off. Is this a subscription membership product? Yes, it is. So it is a membership product. So the expiry is not that. It should expire, as I've just said, on the. Oh, that's not helpful, is it? I think I'm going to go and edit it there. 25. So it will. Let's make it the 30th. You see now the calendar's gone to that date, so sometimes you have to just make it work properly. So the membership will expire on that date. So in this case, it's stopping selling then. You could stop selling it earlier, so people can't buy it. So, but that's our default recommendation. Okay. Next, any extra capture fields? We've got loads set up. Generally, you don't need any for a membership, but if you need something specific, we can set up extra things. So let us know by putting in a support request if you need that. Audience. So this is one of the most important parts. Do you want to sell to students? Yes, always. You want to sell to students, so students can buy it. You want to sell to the public? Well, not generally. As a rule of thumb, never take that on, because if somebody buys it, it captures none of their details whatsoever, and anybody on this planet can buy it. So a member of the public, any student, doesn't record who they are. We don't know who they are, so it's a pretty useless option for Sheffield Student Union. So don't pick that one. Associate memberships. This is what we would recommend if you want to sell to non-students or graduated students, or if you open your club or society up to, say, Hallam students. This means that that person, and it can be a member of the public or a student from another university, has to apply to become an associate membership. So they upload a photo ID, and they also give us their name and address details. So the Sheffield Student Union has their details on record, and they've proved who they are. So it's nice and safe. So should the worst ever happen at one of your events and this particular member was there, we know who they are, and we can deal with it appropriately. There is another option, which is guest members. Generally, we'd say never use this, but this way is kind of associate members light, but it's nowhere near as good. So all this requires is a name and email address, and they can of course make that up. So generally, we say don't tick that. But if you want students, always tick on students, so students can join your club or society. And then if you want to offer to non-students, associate members. Okay. You can also restrict sales of a particular membership type to members of your group or people who have memberships already. So if you have a sub-sports team, for example, so you were politics society and you had a politics football team, and you were setting up a politics membership, politics football team membership, you could then click that, so it would restrict it to only people who've already bought a membership to politics society. Okay, but not everybody will do that. This is the general settings. Okay. And then the finance stuff, this is important. So it goes into your society or club account. You've got 2 of these. That is for tickets in advance, so don't use that for memberships. Always use this 3-letter code one and the XB 3300. And then that will always be 6 size in clubs, because representative committees don't have memberships. So you would never use that in a membership scenario. This means you pay 0 VAT. So pick number 6. And that's it. You click finish, that gets submitted. It comes through to the SU support, digital support team. We try and turn these applications around within 48 hours, but we work generally Monday to Friday. So if you submitted it on a Friday, the first time we'll look at it is on the Monday. So make sure you get them to us as soon as possible. And we'll check them and then get them live on the website. And then when they've been approved, you get a notification on your dashboard that it's been approved. You'll be able to see it, and of course, go back to your society. Let's just go back a couple of stages. So pretend this is your society, and click on there, and make sure it's displaying how you want it to on here, and you can do all these variety of things or types of memberships. So thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, let's go to just show you quickly clubs and societies. Scroll down to, oh, I've gone one step too far. No, not far enough. So go to society or club support, whichever one is you. Then scroll down to student dashboard guides. There you go. So if you need our support, submit a request there. That goes to 3 or 4 different people, and it's the fastest way to get support, much quicker than email. And then down here are all the guides to everything you need on Student Dashboard. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.